This week, our science editor Lawrence McGinty reports on how this network will transform the way you live and work. It's known as the Information Superhighway, a vast network of linked computers bringing the world directly into your home and business.
A high street, like hundreds of others throughout the country. Soon, it will be crowded with shoppers in supermarkets, department stores, newsagents, chemists and banks. But when the Information Superhighway reaches the high street, and it's not far away, all this could change utterly.
This could be the supermarket of the future. Not a shelf or trolley or checkout in sight. Just a computer where you can see what the shop has to offer, find out more about each of the products, and compare their prices. After a coffee, you pick up your shopping or have it delivered. A return to old-fashioned standards of service.
What we'll see is more of the shopkeepers in the high street able to offer a broader range of products in limited space. That will add to the attraction of going to those locations and reinforce the community spirit that exists or used to exist in the high street.
And this is the payphone of the future. The first ones will be installed in about 2 years.
Travel. Here you can plan your route. This map shows the most direct route for your journey.
Let's see if I can find out about hotels in Ipswich. As well as showing you details of the hotel and a photograph, it's also got something extra that you can't get from a guide.
Let them see your class, all right?
With the Information Superhighway, GPs can here and now show patients like this boy with a broken arm through a mini camera on a headset to experts hundreds, even thousands of miles away. The pictures they see, passed down an ordinary telephone line, aren't perfect, but good enough for diagnosis.
That's a super view we're getting. That plaster looks perfect. That's fine.
The Superhighway has also reached this supermarket in Bishop Auckland. An insurance sales rep many miles away talks to potential customers out doing the shopping over a video link. Computers that are easy to operate make it possible. But it's not all too serious. Cyber cafes are 2 a penny on the American West Coast, and they're coming to Britain soon. Superhighway surfers, talking to friends all over the world and browsing through files on the assassination of President Kennedy, super heavy black holes, news pictures, or a Disney film clip.
Quick, stampede in the gorge. Simba down there. Simba.
But you needn't go down to your cyber cafe or even down to the high street at all, because very soon the Information Superhighway is coming to your home. Tomorrow night on News at 10, we'll tell you all about it.
Ever since the Information Superhighway came to Kesgrave Village, John Walsh's house has been taken over by his neighbours' kids. In John's house, you can choose any video anytime you want. 200 hours of videos are available in an experiment among BT employees in East Anglia. With conventional tapes, video on demand would be simply impossible, even with all the resources of one of Britain's biggest duplicating companies. But with a multi-million-pound computer in the exchange, they can be sent down an ordinary telephone line the instant the button on the remote control is pushed.
What's your favourite?
The tank engine.
This recipe starts with 1 cup of butter. Add to it 2/3 cup of sugar, and then cream the two together.
Making donuts the easy way.
Then stir in 1 whole egg and 2 additional egg yolks.
Guided by a computer screen in the kitchen that shows you how with video instructions. But on this mock-up at Anderson Consulting, that's not all that's possible. If you run out, you can add items to your shopping list on the computer by scanning the barcode and have them delivered. It's only a demonstration, but the real thing's not far away. When it comes to shopping, however, people do like to see and touch what they buy. The superhighway might be too impersonal.
I like getting out in the crowd. I wouldn't like to shop on television.
I can think of nothing worse than being carried home like a slug.
It saves you queuing up and mucking about. The only thing is, I can imagine it'll cost a lot more.
In France, for over a decade, consumers have been able to buy through Minitel, an information and home shopping system attached to the phone. It's extremely popular for making train and other travel bookings. But for shopping?
Concerning the shopping, I don't think it's done very much the French mentality, because they really like better to go outside for shopping.
Home banking could be next on the superhighway. Paul Feldman of Nationwide told me how it might work.
And the first thing that will happen is they'll forget a picture of the receptionist, like they would in a normal branch as well.
Let me give you a brief overview of the layout of the branch.
For example, there's a cashier's, where you can pay bills from your account at the touch of a few keys. It will also show you house prices and details in any area you select. Here and now, the superhighway can bring you television news whenever you want to watch it. In Paris or any other modern city, that story about Rwanda can be seen even before it's broadcast.
Every day now, desperate mothers embark on an almost futile search.
The superhighway puts you in the picture.
News in the office or in the home, any time you want it. But you'll have to watch news at 10 tomorrow to discover the secrets behind the Information Superhighway.
Fibre optic cable being laid under the streets, the most visible sign that the Information Superhighway is coming. By the end of the century, it will reach 3 out of 4 homes. The future lies in fine glass strands, each one able to carry all the telephone calls being made everywhere in the world twice over.
The cable industry is putting in £1.5 billion this year and will continue that investment level until the vast majority of the country is covered by 1998.
Just like a motorway, the important thing about the superhighway is how much traffic it can carry.
Motorways led to far-reaching changes in the way we all live our lives. So will the Information Superhighway, simply because its enormous capacity will create new possibilities.
Talking to computers is becoming easier. That means more and more people can unlock the gateway to the superhighway. It's even becoming fun. Wave your hands in the air and make music. Or navigate your way through your personal virtual reality on the screen. For example, selecting a tree for the garden, watching it grow, and seeing how it would look from various angles in your own backyard. The computer can even store an image of your face, allowing you to choose a pair of spectacles and try them on. Only 40 years ago, it took a computer as big as a room to perform even the simplest tasks. This one, called Pegasus, carried out a calculation which previously had taken engineers 3 years.
A calculation which could now be performed in a matter of weeks with Pegasus.
Today, it could be done almost instantly. As valves were replaced by transistors, computers grew powerful enough to keep pace with the Information Superhighway. The shin bone hailed as the earliest human remains in Europe, being x-rayed in London. The results were taken by American expert Eric Tringhouse back to New Mexico for analysis. From his home in Sussex, Mark Roberts, who discovered the bone, relies on the Information Superhighway to monitor progress on the other side of the Atlantic.
We're able to follow up any leads that he gets when he's been studying the bone very quickly indeed, and I mean that's a great advantage to us.
On a less serious level, bass guitarist Peter Hook from New Order uses the Superhighway to talk to his fans in Paris. It just shows the range of possibilities opened up by these new technologies. Tomorrow, we'll look at the Superhighway and health. An extraordinary experiment is taking place in the emergency department at the Aberdeen Royal Infirmary.
Good morning, Professor Page.
The idea is to link experts here with this health centre 50 miles away in Peterhead.
Right, well, you've got a broken collarbone, so we better have a look at you. So if we get you over here and take your shirt off, okay?
The Peterhead GP gets an instant second opinion from Aberdeen over a video link that puts them in contact. But not only that, back in Peterhead, the GP wears a mini camera on a headset to send pictures of the fractured bone to the Royal Infirmary. In this case, it's straightforward.
Well, clinically, there's no evidence that it's compound. There's no evidence that the bone is going to come through the skin.
To confirm the diagnosis, an X-ray is sent over the line. The North Sea, an oil worker overboard. He's rescued, but the paramedics in this exercise desperately need advice on his treatment.
He's got a very high pulse rate, and his breathing's a bit rapid as well.
With the video link back to the mainland, the advice is there instantly.
I think we need to get him pain relief and get him away from there.
Okay, so we'll arrange a dedicated medevac for him.
Well before medevac was even thought of, aspiring surgeons used to watch operations from here. In this case, a keyhole procedure performed in Dundee by Alfred Cuschieri, Britain's leading surgeon in this field.
Can I have a knife?
Somebody will have to press on the suction machine, right over.
Surgeons now come to Dundee from all over the world to watch Professor Cuschieri on screen and question him about the secrets of his technique.
If that were to happen, is it a major catastrophe at the commencement of a procedure?
No. This is why I've been tapping, all right? So I can see that the insufflation is throughout the peritoneal cavity.
In a few weeks, the Superhighway will carry these pictures all over Scotland, and after that, all over the world.
Professor, it's Lawrence McGinty from ITN here.
How far do you think this technology can be extended?
The Superhighway certainly is going to play a very crucial role in the training of surgeons in the future.
Next on the Superhighway, this scanner. It shows the heart beating, detecting the beginnings of disease before the first symptoms. It's the brainchild of Donald Longmore, Britain's first transplant surgeon.
We need to be able to beam the images and the moving images and the information, the blood flow information around, so that experts can all over the place, from all over the place, can look at it. And then we get a lot of opinions from the very best people.
They need to beam the heart pictures back because the scanner is in a bus. The Superhighway to the top consultants.
So the Information Superhighway will help doctors diagnose heart disease early, learn the latest surgical techniques, and detect broken bones at a distance. Tomorrow night on News at 10, we'll be looking at some of the problems the Information Superhighway could create.
The cult movie of the Superhighway addicts poses the question, will cyberspace expand our horizons or turn us into video junkies?
Game over.
The real cat's potato is not going to be too interested in interacting with the TV. That's why they're a cat's potato to begin with. But more importantly, giving that couch potato the choice to talk back, we may discover that they're not so much a potato after all.
You know, if knowledge is power, then I really do believe information is freedom.
Maybe we won't all become super couch potatoes, but talking over the superhighway isn't straightforward. Will it really replace face-to-face contact? The video conference has already replaced personal contact in some cases, particularly for business meetings. And this system, with 2 cameras and 2 screens, makes it seem very natural.
So at the moment, it's obvious that I'm speaking to you because I'm looking at you, whereas now it's very clear that I'm speaking to Ben, and you have a side view of my face.
But there's still a problem. The screens don't show body language.
That's very interesting, Dave.
Well, there's a good example. It wasn't clear to me that Lawrence was interested in what I was saying, simply because I couldn't see what his body language was telling me.
Distance, however, is no object. In Cambridge, Massachusetts, Dave Walden, one of the early pioneers of the Information Superhighway. From Cambridge, England, I spoke to him over the superhighway for little more than the cost of a local phone call. There's still room for technical improvement.
Where do you see it going in the future?
One thing I think will happen is that to some extent it will become invisible. Just as today we don't care about the massive network that's delivering electrical power to our appliances.
The superhighway won't replace other channels of communication, it's an extra. One extra that wouldn't be welcome is crime. As the superhighway replaces more and more cash transactions, will it create new opportunities for super villainy?
It's not really fundamentally any different than providing your credit card details over the phone. And the communication methods between you and the computer center are really very secure, at least as secure as any voice traffic.
You have to come to grip with the risks involved in this, and you have to develop procedures to minimize those risks.
The basic problem remains: who's in charge of watching the superhighway? Who owns it? And do we need a superhighway patrol?
Responding to the new traffic.
For example, should we prevent pornography getting onto the superhighway?
It's a red herring to say we shouldn't teach people how to write because they're going to write bad books as well as good books.
On the other hand, there are good books on the superhighway. In Baltimore's library, free access brings democracy to the community.
I can get my hands on a lot of data very quickly.
A lot of knowledge, a lot of information right at your fingertips.
There may be hazards, diversions, and traffic jams on the superhighway. But one thing is certain: it's coming, and it's coming soon.